Italy is a country which amazes every time and everywhere. Whichever city we go, we see how different and beautiful this country is. From north to south, from mountains to the sea, there are so many wonders with amazing architecture, historical sites, and delicious cuisines. One of such cities is Trieste, a city and a seaport in northeastern Italy. It is towards the end of a narrow strip of Italian territory lying between the Adriatic Sea and Slovenia. Trieste is at the head of the Gulf of Trieste and has a very long coastline, free sea access in Barcola, and is surrounded by grassland, forest and karst areas. Trieste was one of the oldest parts of the Habsburg monarchy, belonging to it from more than 500 years. In the 19th century, the monarchy was one of the great powers of Europe, and Trieste was its most important seaport. As a prosperous seaport in the Mediterranean region, Trieste became the fourth largest city of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Most people arrive to Trieste by bus, train or plane. So Centrale railway station is a very important gate to the city. Opened in 1857, the station is a terminus for direct lines to Venice, Udine and Vienna. It is situated at Piazza della Libertà, very close to the city center, so it's very easy to find a good place for stay. In the next videos, I will tell you about two nice places where you can have good rest and enjoy time in Trieste. The city, which lies at the intersection of Latin, Slavic, Germanic and Greek, where Central Europe meets the Mediterranean Sea, is considered one of the literary capitals and was often referred to as an early New York City because of its diverse ethnic groups and religious communities. There are also other national and international names for the city, such as City of Science, City of the Three Winds, Vienna by the Sea, and City of Coffee. In 2020, the city was also rated as one of the 25 best small towns in the world for quality of life and one of the 10 safest cities in the world in 2021. At the beginning of the 20th century, Trieste was a bustling cosmopolitan city, frequented by artists and philosophers such as James Joyce and Giuseppe Verdi. If you move from the train or bus station, the first popular sport will be the Church of Sant'Antonio Taumaturgo, commonly known as the Church of Sant'Antonio Nuovo. It is the main religious building in the center of Trieste, as well as the city's largest Catholic church, which stands on a square also known as San Antonio Nuovo, at the end of the Grand Canal. The first structure was completed in 1771, but fairly soon it became clear that this building, in turn, was too small. The current church was constructed in 1849. The Irish writer James Joyce often attended Easter Mass in the church. Nearby, there is St. Spyridon Church, which is a Serbian Orthodox church. The Orthodox community in Trieste wasn't established until 1751, when Empress Maria Theresa allowed free practice of religion for Orthodox Christians. This prompted emigration of Serbian traders from Herceg-Novi, Trebinje and Sarajevo to Trieste. The first Eastern Orthodox Church was built in mid-18th century and it served as a place of worship for local Serbs and Greeks both. The construction of the church was finished in 1868. St. Spyridon Church treasury holds numerous objects, historical documents, icons and various works of art dating back to the 18th century. The Canal Grande was built in 1756 so that boats could come directly to the city center to unload their goods. In its initial conformation, the canal was longer than it is today, reaching as far as the church of Sant'Antonio. The Roman theatre behind Piazza Unita d'Italia at the foot of San Giusto hill is one of the most striking remains of ancient Roman Tergeste. The theatre, built between the 1st and the 2nd century, could accommodate up to 3,500 spectators. It was brought to light only in 1938, following major work of demolition and urban regeneration. The Verdi Theatre, founded as Teatro Nuovo, is one of the oldest running opera houses. It was built in 1801. The structure of the building resembles that of the Theatre La Scala in Milan. Unity of Italy Square is the main square in Trieste. The square faces the Adriatic Sea. It is often said to be Europe's largest square located next to the sea. The square was built during the period when Trieste was the most important seaport of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire and includes the city's municipal buildings and other important places. The most visible construction here is a fountain of 4 continents created in 1750 by Giovanni Mazzoli. The sculpture is a symbol of 4 then-known parts of the world: Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. Fountains decorate Trieste on many streets and squares. On Piazza della Borsa, you can look at Naptune Fountain, which was created in 1755. Giovannin del Ponterosso Fountain near Grand Canal was built by Giovanni Mazzoleni in the mid-18th century, creator of the Fountain of the 4 Continents in Piazza Unita d'Italia. Later, a statue of a Buttino was placed on top. On Viale 20 Settembre, there is another interesting fountain in style of 2 theatrical masks. And on Piazza Vittorio Veneto, you will find Fountain of the Tritons, which was built in 1897. Via di Cavana is one of the most popular pedestrian streets where people meet and have meal. There are many cafes and restaurants with local cuisine. It's also a popular space for modern art exhibitions. If you are somewhere near Via Francesco Rismondo, I recommend you to try pizza in Pizzeria Mangiafuoco. It's a very popular place with huge number of pizzas and delivery service. They cook pizza in a real stone oven. Their service is super fast. If you like trying something unique, they make pizzas with silver and even 24-karat gold. On the way to the top of San Giusto hill, one of the roads starts with Scala Dei Giganti stairs. This is the entrance to Galleria Scipione de Sandrinelli underground tunnel. The stairs were built in the 19th century of greyback post. The name comes from the size of the first stairs, about 60 centimeters high. There is a small fountain here, and the view from the top is just amazing. But it's not the highest point. There is another part of the stairs going straight to the Castle of San Giusto. It's a memory park on Colle di San Giusto. You can walk through this green area dotted by a number of karstic memorial stones bearing the names of all Trieste native soldiers who fell in a war as well as their divisions. Continue along a staircase leading to an obelisk-shaped fountain of Montuzza inaugurated during the visit of Mussolini in town. The Castle of San Giusto stands on the hill overlooking the city of Trieste, its gulf and its hinterland. In 1382, the town came under the control of the Austrian Empire, following which the imperial court ordered the construction of a fortress to protect the town and provide accommodation for its captain. The Austrian imperial captains resided in the castle until 1750, when it was converted for use as a garrison and a prison. At the end of Memory Park, right before the square, on the top of Colle di San Giusto, you can admire a large statue honoring soldiers who fell in World War I. Right beside the castle are the remains of the Roman Forum, a few columns, and a rectangular area. It was a market and a popular place of an old city. Some ancient statues used to stand here centuries ago. Behind the forum there is an entrance to the castle. The entrance ticket costs €5. It can be booked inside. The castle was thoroughly renovated and converted into a museum in 1936, since when it has stood as a symbol of the city because it houses two important sections of the museums of history and art, the Museum of the Castle of San Giusto, Armoury, and the Lapidarium of Tergeste in the Lalio Bastion. The armory is housed in the 15th and 16th century quarters of the captain's house. Visitors enter the museum via the round bastion straight in the historic core of the castle. The exhibition both begins with an introductory room where the story and the urban development of Trieste are narrated thanks to old views, historic photographs, and a scale model of the early 20th century, which reconstructs the appearance of the city before it expanded in the 18th and 19th centuries. Visitors can then enjoy the 15th century rooms and the covered sentry walkways where the armory is. A Renaissance-style house built in 1878 is a salon of Italian culture. The furniture, the sculptures, and a large canvas depicting Il Trionfo di Venezia dated at the end of the 17th century. The soldiers' courtyard is usually used for special performances, concerts, festivals, and other public events. From here, visitors can access the Lapidarium of Tergeste, located within the Lalio Bastion. The Lapidarium is dedicated to the history of Trieste in Roman times and displays precious monuments from the top of the Capitoline Hill, worship places, the city walls, the theatre, and from cemeteries of Trieste. A room is dedicated to the mosaic floors of the luxurious maritime villa dates between the end of the 1st century BC and the mid-1st century AD and testify to the fine taste of the owners of the villa. The most precious and popular place in the castle is its walls. They are open for the visitors, and from there the most amazing panoramic view on the whole city is possible to enjoy. Another remarkable and famous site here is Trieste Cathedral or Cathedral of San Giusto. It's a Roman Catholic cathedral and the main church. It is the seat of the Bishop of Trieste. In 1899, Pope Leo XIII granted it the status of Basilica Minor. The first religious edifice in the site was built in the 6th century on a Roman propylaeon using part of the existing structure. The chapel of St. Charles Borromeo serves as the burial chapel for the family of the Carlist claimants to the throne of Spain. Among the works of historical interest in the cathedral are the apsidal mosaics. The facade is adorned with a delicate and elegant Gothic rose window. The Chapel of the Treasure holds important objects like the halberd of St. Sergius, which has become the emblem of Trieste. According to legend, the weapon miraculously fell from the sky into the city forum in 303, when the holy soldier was martyred in Syria. In front of the church there is Via della Cattedrale street, which goes down the hill back to the seaside. Here is a small Giardino di Via San Michele park. Also, there are two churches on the way: Basilica of Saint Sylvester I, built in the 8th century, and Santa Maria Maggiore Church of 17th century on the Piazza San Silvestro Square. For a sweet tooth, I recommend the popular ice cream cafe Gelato. To enter, visitors must take a number first. When you see your number on the screen, you can go inside and choose an ice cream from huge numbers of days. To pay for their order, use a cashier machine. As many other cities, Trieste is so beautiful after sunset. The most popular place to meet at night is Molo Audace. It's a stone 200 meters long pier built in the 18th century. From here, people can see night scenes of Unity of Italy Square with its government palace, Palazzo Strati, town hall, Pitteri Palace, Palace of the regional government, and the Fountain of Four Continents. In the evening and on weekends especially, citizens and tourists come to the square to relax with friends and families in local cafes and restaurants, or even dance. Have you been to Trieste? Which place is your favorite? Let me know in comments. Let's discover the world together.